Hi everyone, my name is Tina, also known as Blooming Knitter, and this is Knitting Blooms. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have had a good week. I almost did not record this week. I'm actually recording a day late on Friday, April 10th. I had planned on recording last night, but I was having a rough night. It's been a crazy week. Kind of crazy, kind of disappointing, up and down, all over the place. And trying to get ready for camp. Yesterday, I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to record. And I almost thought, well, I'm just going to post a tutorial this week because I just don't feel up to it. But today, there is a bit of sunshine, and so I thought I would go ahead and record. If you are here for the knitting, I will tell you straight off the bat, there is no knitting content today. I plan on talking a little bit about Sammy's progress, what's been going on this week in my personal life, and a little bit of Netopia talk, because I leave for Netopia next Wednesday. And I'm very excited about it. So if you are here for the knitting, I am sorry there is nothing for you today. Honestly, I have done little to no knitting this week. This week, last week I recorded on Thursday, and I had mentioned that we were on the last dose before taking Sammy off of insulin. Well, we achieved that on Friday. We went ahead and pulled him off insulin early because he was having what they call an inverted curve, which means that instead of going down with insulin, instead of his blood sugar going down with insulin, it was going up. So it kind of alerted me to the fact that something's not quite right with this, because typically you eat, your blood sugar goes up, and then the insulin starts working and your blood sugar goes down. That wasn't what was happening. So we took a chance, and we went ahead and took him off insulin in the unconventional way. Normally, that doesn't happen. Normally, you only get to take him off insulin or reduce the dose if he goes too low on that dose. Well, the last 3 doses, when he went from 0.75 to 0.5 to 0.25 to 0.1, all of those dose reductions were because he was having this inverted curve type thing. So I was a little nervous about what was going to happen, if it was going to stick, if I was making the wrong decision. So all these things are going through my head, and of course, I think it was Saturday morning. So he went off insulin Friday night. Maybe it was Sunday morning. He went off insulin Friday night, was the first night. Saturday was pretty uneventful. He had a couple of higher numbers. He was still having those inverted curves a little bit. We didn't know why. I'm still not quite sure why. I'm thinking maybe it was because his body was used to that kind of curve. I don't know. Then Sunday morning, he got into some of Crystal's food, which was some duck, and we have found out that whenever he eats duck or pretty much anything else than what he has been eating, his sugar skyrockets. So he was up to 172, which is, not high by any stretch of the imagination, but it would have thrown us off our trial had I not been able to really know why it happened. So that day, I went ahead and gave fluids a day early, to help bring the number down again and, flush out that whatever the duck food that was in his system. The next day, we got some good numbers in the morning, but we were still up in the afternoon, and that's what we were experiencing before. We were having fairly decent numbers in the morning, but then by the nighttime, evening insulin shot, we were having some higher numbers, and we couldn't really figure out why. We weren't giving insulin at this point, but he was still having those higher numbers. So, and every day it was creeping up a little bit more, and I'm thinking, oh geez, here we are right before camp. I'm hoping that he can make it through this trial and I can go to camp and relax. He can stay home and be comfortable and happy. And we kept getting these higher numbers. And so here I am biting my nails, wondering what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen the next time I test him. So that was a little stressful. Then I think it might have been yesterday. I don't even remember now. Yes, it was yesterday, which is why I was so out of sorts. I came home and his number was 182. He had not had duck. I did feed him beef in the morning, but apparently beef causes him to skyrocket too. So I don't know. I think it might be just the fact that he's getting something different than what he was normally getting, and I don't know if it was upsetting his stomach or what exactly. Anyway, so last night numbers were really high. So I just couldn't deal with it. But that was on top of when we went to the vet on Wednesday. I went to the vet thinking, okay, we've got his sugar under control and we're off insulin. Let's go just check his numbers and see where they are. So we went in for blood work and we found out that his kidney values were higher than they had been in the past. He's always had slightly elevated kidney values for the last couple of years, but nothing extremely bad. Like he had a creatinine, just over 2. So not anything crazy. And even his BUN wasn't that high. Mostly just over normal, like 35, 37, 40, something like that. So if you know anything about kidney values, his numbers are not extremely bad, but it was just like a blow after we thinking, okay, we just got over the insulin thing and now we have to deal with the kidney thing. So needless to say, we have been giving daily fluids. Before we had been giving fluids about every 2 to 3 days. Now we are on a daily fluid regimen, hoping to bring down those numbers. So he's been on daily fluids. And again, yesterday, after going to the vet on Wednesday and getting the kidney information, and then I do a lot of research online. So I was on the feline chronic renal failure website, reading all the different symptoms, all the different side effects, all the different things that can affect whether or not the kidneys continue to progress to being worse. And so I had called the doctor again and talked to her about blood pressure and potassium and phosphorus and all this other stuff. And she got me totally freaked out about Sammy's blood pressure. She said, well, I said, well, what are the symptoms of high blood pressure? And she says, well, if they're restless or they're kind of acting agitated, whatever. And I'm like, well, Sammy doesn't really do that, but occasionally he will kind of wander around the house and yowl, and sometimes he just won't sit still. So I'm thinking, oh geez, now he might have high blood pressure. Oh. So I had planned on taking him back to the vet next Tuesday before I leave for camp, just to get an updated number on the kidney values after we had been doing daily fluids for a week, and then get his blood pressure checked. But after talking to the vet yesterday, I was just too freaked out about it. I couldn't wait any longer. I had to take him in to get his blood pressure checked because she was saying, oh yeah, if their blood pressure is too high, they can detach their retina and go blind. And I'm like, well, I don't want to wait for that to happen, so let's check it. Let's make sure it's not high. So we went in to get that checked today, and thank goodness it is normal. I think it's normal. She said it was 120, and I'm assuming that a cat's blood pressure is about the same, 120. There's no over something else number, but she said it was 120, which she said was good. So at least that's one thing I can check off the list that I don't have to worry about. We're still going to go in on Tuesday to get his kidney values rechecked after the daily fluids. Double check the phosphorus to make sure that it's in the normal range. We are feeding him a lower phosphorus diet than he was getting before, so hopefully there's not going to be a problem with that. It's not as low as a renal diet phosphorus level, but It is a lot lower than the food that we were feeding him. And we are going to check his potassium because I understand that with renal failure or renal disease, their potassium levels can go down. However, I don't think that's going to be, the potassium is going to be a problem because I believe in the lactated ringers solution there is some potassium, so I don't think his potassium is going to be low, but it's good to check it. You know, have the numbers, have the data, have the information, and then you can go forward from there. And I am hoping to find out that his BUN is down a little bit from this past week. It'll make my life so much less stressful because I want to give him the best life possible, and I hate dragging him to the vet. He doesn't like it, but you know, I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure that he's healthy. But anyway, tonight, after getting the good news at the vet that his blood pressure is good, we came home from the vet and got a nice green 74 blood glucose number today, which is so much better than what we've been getting the last couple days in the evening. We've been getting anywhere from 112 to 142. So 74, excellent number. Very happy with that. So happy with that. So now that's why I'm a little bit more relaxed and feel like I can chat with you for a bit, even though it's not about knitting. So anyway, so that is what has been going on with Sammy this week. And the other reason that I haven't been knitting too much is I've been playing Sims. Yes, I think it was not last week, but the week before. Was it last week? Yeah, it was last week. Last week the Get to Work expansion pack came out for Sims 4 last Tuesday. I might have mentioned it last week when I recorded, but it came out on Tuesday and I had not really played it. Well, I broke down Saturday and started playing it. And I wasn't planning on doing a Let's Play with it, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to play the game anyway. I might as well record it and have something that I can post on the channel while I'm gone at camp. So I started playing it, and I'm playing this first Let's Play is going to be the detective career, and I'm hoping to, you know, get all those episodes edited and uploaded so that they're scheduled so that they'll post when I'm at camp. I have only edited one of them, so I have to edit. Right now I think I have 4 episodes, so I have to edit the other 3. So I'm hoping to get those uploaded in the next couple of days before I leave for camp so that I can get those scheduled. Last weekend I also recorded a couple of the Entrelock tutorials. I recorded the base triangle section and then the first tier section. So those are going to be posted while I'm at camp. I'm hoping to record the second tier and the final triangle set, the final top, I don't know what I call it. I guess it's the final tier is what I call it in the pattern. I'm hoping to record those tutorials as well so that I can get those posted like in the coming weeks, because what I'm going to do is each week I'll post up. The first week I'll post the first tier, then the second week I'll post the first week I'll post the base tier, and then the next week I'll post the first tier, and then the second tier, and then the final tier. So it'll be a 4-week tutorial series, and then once you have all 4 of them, you can just kind of go with it. But I will be posting them weekly, and I am also hoping to post some little tidbits from camp too. But yeah, so I have done the tutorials. I also have a backwards purling tutorial that I had pre-recorded already. I had already posted the backwards knitting tutorial that I use for the Entrelock, but I also posted a backwards purling because I'm also planning on doing a tutorial series for Entrelock for garter stitch Entrelock, because I like when I'm, especially for a dishcloth, I like it to look the same. I don't like it to on both sides. I don't like to know that there's a back and a front. On regular stockinette entrelac, I can see that there's a back and a front. Not that it really makes a difference, but I wanted to try garter stitch entrelac. So I did, and I liked it. So I'm going to do a tutorial series on that too. Sorry, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, so yeah, so I am planning on doing a couple tidbits from camp. I'm hoping it works. I don't know if it'll work. So if you don't see any tidbits, sorry. I am hoping to be able to upload them. They're going to be short, maybe 2 or 3 minute ones. I just know that when I can't attend an event, I always wonder what's happening at the event that I'm missing out on and wish I were there. So I thought I would just give you a little taste of Netopia. I've kind of done that a little bit in the past, and I hope you enjoy it. Maybe you don't, and if you don't, then you can skip those episodes. They'll be really short anyway. What else? So speaking of Netopia, I did want to take some time now to kind of give a shout out to all of the sponsors that have donated stuff to Netopia. We have some fabulous, fabulous sponsors. And I am going to make the camp directory available. I'm going to remove a couple of the pages, like the pages for our itinerary and personal information like the participants that are there, because I have all their emails and everything in the directory, so that when people come to camp, they meet people, and then they want to be able to get in touch with them, they have a way to get in touch with them. So I will be taking those pages out and posting a public directory for Netopia, so you guys can see all the different vendors that donated to Netopia, or that we purchased product from, because there was a number of vendors that gave us discounts and so forth for prizes. So we ordered things and paid like a wholesale price. So that was nice as well. But I have made the PDF so that it's all clickable links, and it will make it very easy for everybody to, if they want to shop at that particular vendor, to just click the link and go right over to their site. Now, I'm pretty sure that I've tested all of the links, and they all go to where they're supposed to go. I hope. But yeah, I will have that posted. Hopefully by the time this episode is posted, that will be available, and I can link it in the description below or on Ravelry or somewhere, and you guys can go and check it out. But I do appreciate all of the sponsors that have sent donations or provide us a discount to allow us to order at a wholesale price. Yeah, I don't even have notes today, because I honestly, I didn't even know I was going to sit down and record. I just finished giving Sammy his fluids for tonight, and I'm like, you know what? I feel good. Things are looking up. I'm going to record. So I wanted to talk about Netopia. Oh, I might as well tell you what's going to happen. So next Tuesday, I've got to take Sammy back to the vet. And Tuesday night, we also get everything ready, you know, like ready to go, run out the door Wednesday morning, because Wednesday I'm hoping to leave the house to go up to Netopia by 8:30 in the morning. Maybe earlier, I'm not sure, but I want to be at Netopia by 10 o'clock. I want to be at the cabin, and I'll get there and we'll have to unload everything. It'll take a couple hours to get organized at Netopia because all the boxes and bins and supplies and stuff like that. Right now my kitchen is just full of all the paper products, because we need paper, toilet paper and paper towels. And last year we did something different, and we bought all paper plates and plasticware and stuff. And I know that's not really environmentally friendly, but when you have 23 to 25 people living in a cabin and having all those dishes. When we were using regular dishes, we were running the dishwasher 3, 4, and sometimes 5 times a day, I think, because we had so many dishes. And it was just too much. We were always filling the dishwasher and waiting for it to empty or to finish so that we could fill it again and run it again. So last year we did the paper products, and honestly, it was so much easier. It was so much easier. So I've just decided that that's what we're going to do. So I include it in the budget now, and we buy paper products and spoons and plasticware, what have you. And then we can just toss everything out. It's so much easier. So all that stuff is upstairs, along with like my dyeing supplies that I need to take because we are going to do a dyeing class. Oh, and there will be some alcoholic beverages. So I have all that up there. Plus we need food staples. So I've got a few food staples that I'm taking with me from home that I don't think I'll be able to easily purchase, you know, in a small little town grocery store. And then everything down here, which is my personal projects that I'm going to take way too many of, which I do all the time. It never fails. And then all the prizes and goodie bags and all that. I think I mentioned last week that I was going to put the goodie bags together. I can't remember if I had already done that last week when I recorded, but I have all the goodie bags all organized and sorted and together and ready to go. So that's good. Don't have to worry about getting that taken care of when I get to camp. But there will be a lot of unloading and organization once we get to camp. But I would say that by maybe 1 or 2 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, I'll have my chair ready to go. In fact, I might put my chair together before we leave because I can put the chair in the van. So that will be easy to have the chair ready and just be able to pull it out and set it up. Because I take my IKEA chair with me. And what else? And then we'll just be enjoying. Come 1 or 2 o'clock on Wednesday. I can't wait. But that means that you might not see me for 2 weeks if I don't post little tidbit updates from camp. And we do not have internet access, so whatever I do post will be just tiny little blips of what's going on. And if I find that it's pretty easy to do, I might post, you know, a minute here or 2 minutes there, you know, twice a day, 3 times a day. I don't know. If you would like to know specific things that are happening at Netopia, why don't you send me a PM or maybe post a comment to this video either on Ravelry or on YouTube and let me know what you would like to experience from Netopia. Maybe you want to experience mealtime, because mealtime's fun. We all sit around a great big table. Like we have 15, 20, 30, you know, not 30 people, but we have about 20 people that all sit, you know, around the table together, and we have a nice meal together. Maybe you want to experience just the general atmosphere, or you want to see the cabin a little bit more detailed. I don't know. Let me know what you'd like to see so that I kind of have an idea of what to kind of video while I'm there. What else? I think that's about it. This weekend I'm going to try and edit all those tutorials and Let's Plays so they're ready to upload before Tuesday. And maybe do some knitting, maybe do some spinning between now and then. I don't know. If I don't do any knitting and spinning between now and Wednesday, I'm not going to be heartbroken because I will have 12 days of all the knitting and spinning that I want. So again, I hope you guys have a fabulous, fabulous week. I am very happy that Sammy is looking better. We still have to deal with the kidney issues, but I've dealt with chronic renal failure before, and really Sammy's numbers are not that bad right now. They're not that bad right now. Now, if they continue to go up, yeah, that's very concerning. I mean, right now his BUN is about 53 and his creatinine is about 3.1. They had been 35 or 36 and 24. No, 35 and 2.4 in January, or 2.1. So they have gone up a little bit since January, but I think it could be a number of things. So we're just going to get it checked again and see how it is on Tuesday. And again, hopefully it's down from where it was on Wednesday, on Tuesday, and I can just relax a little bit. So that's all. Crystal's staring at me from across the room, so I don't know. I think she wants some attention. What do you want? Come over here. You want to come say hello? Come on. Come on. Come say hello. Here's Crystal. She hasn't been getting enough attention lately because Sammy's been getting all the attention. So when Sammy's not around, Crystal needs to get more attention, right? But Crystal sleeps with me every night, so she gets lots of kisses when we go to bed every night. Anyway, so I will talk to you at the very least in a couple of weeks when I get home from Netopia, but maybe you'll see me before then. And I hope you will enjoy the Entrelock tutorials that are coming up. And yeah, so I will talk to you next time. Bye for now.
As always, thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Please feel free to contact me with your comments or suggestions, as I am always trying to improve the show. You can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, and YouTube as Blooming Knitter. You can also find me on Plurk, Twitter, and Pinterest as Blooming Knitter, but I don't frequent those sites as often. I post show updates on Twitter and Facebook, and sometimes to Google Plus and Plurk. I am Miss Aerobics on MyFitnessPal and Fitbit. You can always find all the old episodes as well as links to the tutorials on the blog at www.knittingblooms.com. And you can also follow the show on Facebook. You can email me at knittingblooms@gmail.com, and show notes can be found at knittingblooms.com.